Hi everybody, Bobby here. And tonight I want to talk about something that just happened this morning and there's a lot of people that are feeling it and they are talking about it too. And those are the solar flares that came out from the sun. These ones are super powerful solar flares, but I just want to say that, as my sister and I always say in the beginning of our videos, if you do not resonate with our information, that's okay. You can go and listen to other people, do your own research, and come to your own conclusions. If you do resonate with them, that's beautiful. But if you want to come back and listen to us, that's okay. We will always be here trying to give you the most accurate information. And with that said, I just wanted to start with something absolutely incredible. So yesterday, um, I remember telling my sister that there was something weird in the, you know, environment. I felt confused. I felt like I was in another realm, in another timeline. And all of the sudden at night, I remember going to the space weather um, website and I saw the graph, and it was absolutely incredible. We had 26 solar flares that came out of the sun. And what I do is I go into the graph and I take the mouse and or whatever it is, the touch screen, and I go through the graph and each solar flare and at the time that it came in or actually came out of the sun. So it gives me which class is and the timing. So I did count. There were 6 class X solar flares and then 20 M class solar flares. That basically just threw a lot of people out of their seat, and it was just crazy. But then last night, I'm talking to my sister and I was so energetic, and all of a sudden, this was a matter of seconds. I started feeling that I had a headache and I was feeling super tired, like I haven't slept in a while. And I told my sister on the phone that I was feeling tired and it was just suddenly. Um, and she said, "You know what? I have pain on my back and it just started right now." And I said, "You know what? My shoulder just started hurting." So we were just a mess. And when I go into the space weather, I said to her, "Oh my goodness, we have all these solar flares, that came in or that came out of the sun, and they were the 6X class and then all the M's." And I said, I really need to go to sleep. So we said good night, and I actually I was like in bed around 10:30. Anyways, so this morning when I was doing my cafecito and I went into the space weather, I see that we had, I think they were like 7 different class X solar flares. These are different from the ones yesterday. And and then I started counting all the M class solar flares and I actually lost my count. I went to 80 and I was done. And that was just today, without counting the ones from yesterday. So we've been feeling all kinds of different things. not only pains, these are memories, these are like the timelines are coming together. Whatever timelines were in the past that were in the negative are pretty much done. The ones that are basically converging are the ones that are positive. So, what I learned was that what we went through in November was kind of like a hijacking of the timeline. Pretty much the negative forces were just trying to hijack the ascension process, and we had a Mandela effect. We had four geostorms. We had, I mean, everything all at once. This is the spiritual war. If you don't see it yet, then we have to get that pineal gland decalcified. And yes, it'll be a process, but you will be able to see. So everything that has been happening since November has been a tug of war between the good forces and the evil forces. And the light obviously won. So now you see many people purging, and the purges are, they're getting mad, they're getting upset, they are having an internal war, and they are projecting that out there. That I said in the previous video last week, that many people are having this spiritual war inside of them at the cellular level, and they are basically projecting this outside. So what happens when we have solar flares and the Schumann resonance, which is the heartbeat of Mother Earth? So in combination, what they do is they start kind of like shaking our cells from the inside, so that our cells purge all of that negativity that we have had for millions of years. And if you do not believe in reincarnation, then I don't know what to tell you, because that is exactly what we have been doing for ages in here on this planet. We have been reincarnating and reincarnating, but it wasn't because we wanted to reincarnate. It's because the negative forces were basically making us live up to a certain age, take our soul, and then send it back, because, well, there's so many different things that they were doing with us, but now it's over. The light won, and we are here, and we are ascending, and we are going to be ascending with our bodies. So before, you had to, obviously, the body had to die, and then you will ascend, and you will be returning back to Earth. Now we are ascending with our bodies. Nobody's dying unless you decide that you want to go, that you don't want to live here anymore. I want to be here forever. So this is a beautiful planet, and I want to help my planet. So so many people right now are experiencing this tug of war, this fight between their cells and all that, and it is being projected out there. So, and again, this has to do with a lot of, all of these different social media propagandas, lies, deceit, everything. And the negative forces already knew how to, basically extract the loosh that they actually feed from. And it's loose is basically just fear. So when you make a person afraid, what you're doing is you are withholding that person or making that person to get stuck. And that person cannot move forward. And that has to do, again, with what we consume, all the chemicals and all the social media, all the addictions that people are having right now out there is just incredible. But when we are being shaken loose, uh, all of those negative energies that you were withholding inside your cells are coming to the surface. And what happens is that you're feeling anger, depression, stress, all kinds of issues. And then you start attacking other people for no reason. Um, because you don't know what is really happening inside of you. And people will always say that these were emotions, and that it is the way that you were born or whatever, but it's not. We are all love, and we are all made from unconditional love. And when you start saying that you were born this way or you were born that way because you're always angry and nothing happens for you, what you're doing is you're taking your thoughts and you're creating your reality that way. So many things that people are seeing out there right now, they're not kind of seeing the deeper problem. And what happens is that when the solar flares come in, it's like the Schumann resonance, the heartbeat starts shaking you, okay? And all of your cells start moving and getting all of those negative energies loose. And then when the solar flares come in, it's like a flamethrower, and it's just, burning everything that we have inside that is not serving our purpose. Our purpose as humans is to unite and to be together so that we can fight the evil forces. But many people are not getting this. Many people are just doing everything on their own, and then if they get mad, they get mad, and they don't care whoever is in the middle. They just, take the person and, just plow them like a truck. So, but since the light won, there is no more negativity. So everything that is in our system is just being burned to the ground with the matrix. People are feeling very uncomfortable, because, well, that's what it does. Ascension is not comfortable. Ascension is very uncomfortable. And what's happening is people are just not understanding what is happening inside of them. So they are just getting mad and going at people, and it is just incredible. But if you, and again, like I always say, if you have an open mind and you know exactly how to open up your heart chakra and align your heart chakra with, your crown chakra, which is, the alignment that we have to have in order for us to see what is happening. Remember, before, the saying was seeing is believing. Now is believing is seen. And if you believe, you are absolutely going to see everything that is happening out there. And it's unfortunate that there is a lot of people that are not seeing what is really, really deep inside happening in them that it's being portrayed out there. So, you know, I just wanted to come up a little bit and explain, you know, the new solar flares that are coming in, which in fact I did say something last week about the Carrington event. So it could be that these solar flares, which we do have also, I believe, a geostorm, and is just going to take some of the communications down. My sister and I have had a lot of problems with our phones today and the internet and you name it. It's been crazy. But um, all of what is happening, we have to do what we need to do in order to be able to go through all of this. And what is that? Meditation, eat the right foods, and try to take some time for you instead of being on social media all the time and looking at the news, which the news are absolutely lying to us. I can see that, my sister can see it, but there is many people that I cannot see what is really happening. So hopefully you guys can actually see what is happening, and that you can use your discernment, to be able to go through all of this. And I just wanted to come up tonight a little bit and let you know about what is really happening. So with that said, I hope that you guys have a beautiful night. I send a lot of love, peace, and wellness. And with that said, abundance to